So that leads me on to the next slide. This is data that was published on the fin24.com website late last year. It paints a picture of what responsible retirement planning looks like. The 3 columns at the top represent different ages that you can retire at. And if you engage in responsible retirement planning, you need to save enough money that you can derive an income once you are retired, right? So you can see the first column, if you retire at 55, you need to have saved 12 times your annual income. So if you're earning, let's say, 20,000 Rand a month, you need to have saved about 2.5 million Rand that has to be sitting in a cash investment to derive a similar income when you retire. Only 2% of South Africans do this. 2%. There's about 40 people in the room. Maybe one of us, maybe one person in this room is going to reach retirement where they're actually able to carry on, financially independent. The rest of us become financially dependent. Dependent on who? Your kids, family, or you have to suddenly downscale your lifestyle to such a degree that you can actually afford to get by every month. Not a great position to be in, because it means you've got to sell your house, move into a smaller house, maybe sell your house, move in with your kids. That financial burden, that debt cycle jumps from generation to generation. It's been shown, it's fact, that debt and financial position in life is something that carries on through generation to generation. And you can see why that happens. But out of all of this negativity, DuePoint as an enterprise, as a business, saw the opportunity to create a platform for the average South African to engage in, to be able to empower themselves so that they can break out of this debt cycle. It is our number one priority at DuePoint for our wealth engineers, for you to become debt-free. Number one. Think about what it means to actually be debt-free, completely debt-free. You own your own house. Not paying a bond, that's not owning your own house. You own your own house. You own a car, no debit orders. You bought the car and paid it off. You pay for your kids' education a year up front. You don't have clothing accounts and a Woolworths account paying for food you ate last year. You don't have credit cards where you have this debt cycle in credit cards, right? Credit cards are terrible things because there's no end to the debt term on a credit card. It just keeps revolving. It's called a revolving credit limit. It can haunt you forever. So we want you to become debt-free. We want you through the system to empower yourself so that you can pay your debt off as quickly as possible. The second aspiration we have for our wealth engineers, the people that join this business, is to start creating an investment that you can depend on. A true investment that you can work towards in the long term, that you can look forward to by the time you retire. And then the third aspiration is just for the people that join this business to be happier. Because that's why you're in this presentation at lunchtime on a Wednesday. Because you have hope to change your situation. And you're hoping that this presentation will suddenly enlighten you where you go, this is something I can use to be happier, to change the situation, my personal situation, my family situation, even generations after me could be affected by the system. So those are our 3 aspirations. How does this work? Our guests here this afternoon, you have the opportunity to join DuePoint. You contract with us. We call you wealth engineers. And as wealth engineers, we want you to do one thing, and that's to go out and build what we call channels of distribution. And through these channels of distribution, on our online platform, we'll attempt to place product with the people that you introduce to us. And that is how this entire business works, as simply as that. The benefit to the wealth engineer is that you get to create an additional income stream for yourself. This might seem obvious, right? This is why you're here, additional income. This is the only way you're going to pay your debt off any sooner than what you're currently doing. This is the only way to create an option for yourself. We find ourselves in this debt cycle. We are trying to survive month to month. I know people are in survival mode. Another statistic we got a couple of weeks ago, 50% of South Africans are under debt review. Do you know what that means? It means that people haven't been able to honor their debt payments for longer than 3 months. That means 50% of the population is unable to get by every month at the moment. And the economy has just been said to have been put into a technical recession in the last 6 months. It means our economy is shrinking. It means there are less jobs. There's no way out. The economy is not showing us any way out of the current situation. It isn't. We have to come to terms with that. Okay? This business allows you to create recurring income. Now, recurring income is an awesome benefit, and it's typically something that belongs to insurance companies. This is one of the reasons why I left my business, because in my business we were very much a service-based company, and some of you might work for service-based companies. We were unable to create recurring income in my business. So we would go out and look for work. We had salespeople, we had designers, developers, and some admin staff, and every month we'd go look for the work, do the work, and invoice it. And at the end of every month, we would have to start at zero again. We'd have to do exactly the same thing. Go look for the work, do the work, invoice the work. Every single month, month on month. If one of my designers or developers or me went on holiday, it meant less turnover. If everyone went on holiday in December, it meant zero turnover for the month of December. We spent our whole year in my business trying to save up enough funds so that we could survive December and January. And I found in my business that we were also in the cycle, where we were living month to month, year to year. Very similar to people in employment. This business allows you to create recurring income, which means that the effort that you put into this business in 1 month doesn't only pay you for that month. It pays you in July, in August, in September, in October. It can pay you 10 years, 20 years down the line for the effort that you put in June 2017. This is what recurring income is. You get to harness the power of duplication. This is leverage. These channels of distribution that you build, these are actually you going out and building teams that will collaborate with you, because there's limited time for you to spend in this business. And so we recognize that fact. So we built the system so that you could leverage the people that you bring in, which means if you've got 10 people, each contributing 1 hour into your business, you now have 10 hours or 11 hours being contributed into your business every single day. And that will increase your recurring income on a monthly basis. This business is flexi time. Now, this is a double-edged sword, because it might seem great in the fact that you can do this business whenever you want to, right? But the other side of the sword says if you want to be successful in this business, you have to sacrifice time to make it work. Like any aspect of life. If you want to be successful in any aspect of life, it comes with sacrifice. You've got to decide, right, I'm going to spend my week evenings at DuePoint, or Saturdays off at DuePoint, or Sundays off at DuePoint. That is a decision you have to make. I'm sorry to tell you, if you thought, oh, you were going to do this and it was just going to start paying you automatically, being treated as a hobby, it won't work for you. By the end of this presentation, if you're interested in this business opportunity, at the same time, you're going to have to make the decision of how to schedule DuePoint into your week, into perpetuity. Because I promise you, if this business becomes successful for you, you'll be here forever. This might be your first day. But plan out the next 20, 30 years with this business and what it means for you after 30 years. Okay, and we'll touch on where this business can take you in the long term. There's no startup capital, there's no registration fees in this business. It's a very low-risk opportunity. There aren't boxes of products that you have to buy to get started. There's no 12 or 24-month contract that fixes you into this business. No qualifications or experience required. This is financial services. And as a business, we are heavily regulated by the Financial Services Board. Anyone that gets involved in financial services typically has to oblige to that regulation. But we contract you out of that obligation, so you don't have to worry about it. You can reap the benefits of being in financial services, creating a recurring income, and not worry about the FSB regulation. You get to build an asset. This is a very important point, because if I'm proposing to you in this partnership that you have to sacrifice time to be effective and successful in this business, at least know that the time you're investing in this asset, this channel of distribution, you have ownership over it. So you can sell it. You can give it to your kids when you get too old. If you die before you expect to, you can even seed it onto your beneficiaries. You can move it into a family trust. You have options around this asset that you're building. This is completely opposite to employment, because we will spend 40, 45 years working for somebody else, building someone else's asset, where we've got no dividend check, we don't have share options, we don't have any shares, we've got no say in the business. Yet as employers or employees, we'll spend our entire lives investing in someone else's business. Here you get ownership over this channel of distribution that you're building. There's no selling involved. You should be very happy about that. Any smiles? I bet that was the first question you had for the person that told you about this business. What are we selling? What's the products in this business? Tell me, what are the products? This is financial services. The products are intangible, but we actually contract you out of selling. So you don't do any selling whatsoever. These channels of distribution that we want you to build are you going out and just telling people about the business opportunity, nothing more. It is the most valuable commodity in South Africa at the moment. Financial opportunity. And that's what you're going to be selling. Financial opportunity, not our products. You're not going to even speak about our products. You're going to ask people, do you want to make more money? That's it. So we make this business as simple and as convenient to get involved in as possible. And this is all predicated on you being effective and being able to go out and build this channel of distribution. And this is what it looks like. You go out, and if you have some success, you might be able to add 5 people into the business. This person didn't really catch the vision, but the other 4 did. And the other 4 people went out and did exactly the same thing as you did. And they continued the growth of your channel of distribution. This is leverage. This is the power of duplication, because your channel is able to grow organically. You have no control over these other people because you don't know them. You have control over the first few people that you introduce to this business, but after time, through the power of duplication, your channel may look something like this. And you getting paid a recurring income for every single dot you see on the screen, every single month on month on month. You want to be in a position where you've built a sustainable enough business that you can take 6 months of holiday and not have to worry about the business, and we'll pay you every single month. Will that ever work in employment? Can you go to your boss and say, I want to take a 6-month sabbatical? And he'll say, that's not a problem. And he'll print out a resignation letter for you. Just sign over here. Right? That's how employment works. So this is what your channel of distribution looks like. This is my disclaimer slide. I touched on it a little earlier when we spoke about sacrificing time. Very appropriate picture, because we look at business like this. Anyone says they own their own business, or they're a business owner, they're an MD or a CEO, we see the business like this. We think they must be so lucky. It looks so good. They've got a nice car, nice house, nice spouse, even the dog is good looking. And you think, right, they must have been lucky in business. They must know someone in business. Real business is not like that. This is what real business looks like. There's frustration. Persistency, consistency is required to be successful in business. 95% of new companies fail in the first year. Did you know that? 95% of businesses will fail in their first year. Who would want to start a new business with odds like that? It requires tenacity. It requires sacrifice. So in this business at DuePoint, we will never tell you that success comes easily. That previous benefit slide where I showed you, we make the business as easy and as convenient to get involved in as possible. I didn't say it is easy and convenient to be successful. You see the difference? Anyone can join. Anybody. All of us in the room can become wealth engineers today. But if you want to be successful in this business, it is difficult. It's a people business. We are dealing with people constantly. You know how frustrating it is to deal with people. I can't even get on with my own family. Now I must get on with everybody, right? But if you're willing to make that sacrifice, get through the frustration, understand that there's personal development required in this business, I promise you, if you don't have this short-term expectation for success and you're willing to work at it long-term, then I can say to you, yes, you're probably going to be successful in this business. We all understand? Returns. We get on to the money, the good stuff. Okay, so we pay our wealth engineers something called a return at the end of every month, based on how many products they have in their channel of distribution. So we pay a base return fee of 27.50 Rand for every single product, every single month, based on the products in your channel. Remember the first 5 individuals that you introduced to DuePoint successfully? Right? The one person was lazy, didn't do anything, but the other 4 worked. Nonetheless, Those first 5 people lie on point 1. They are 1 point away from you, and on point 1, we pay you double the 27 Rand 50. We pay you 55 Rand for every product every month. Those people go out and they do the same thing. They are now building your business for you. They introduce people on your second point. And on your second point, again, we pay you 55 Rand for every product every single month. Point 3, the multiplier drops back down to 100%, and it keeps dropping the further the product gets away from you, right? All the way down to point 8. At point 8, we're paying you 4% of the 27 Rand 50, but we don't limit you there. From point 8, in theory to infinity, we will keep paying you 4% for every product that gets placed in your channel beyond point 8. What's important to note is that we won't limit you on how big your channel can get at DuePoint. We won't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. The accountability lies with you. Okay, so this is the mechanics of the returns. I think that's fairly straightforward. The next question we get is, well, how much money can I earn in this business? Like, what do people earn in this business after 6 months, or you speak long term after 5 years? So what we did was we built this thing called the path to success. I got the accountants to get creative. If you can do that in Excel, I'm not sure. So they built this thing called the path to success, and it's based on this growth model that we call 3+2. It assumes as a brand new wealth engineer, in your first month, you can bring 3 people into the business successfully. And every consecutive month, you only have to bring in another 2, right? 1 every 2 weeks. So we call it the 3+2 because it's 3 in the first month and 2 every consecutive month. So you're going to be going 3 + 2 + 2 + 2 + 2 + 2 into perpetuity, right? Doesn't sound too onerous, does it? If you can do that, these are the numbers you can expect. After 6 months, you could be earning 2,500 Rand a month in recurring income. Good, not so good. If I had the 2,500 Rand cash in my pocket, you'd take it. But now I'm saying you've got to work for 6 months to get there. Is that something we're willing to do or not really? Let me give you some appreciation to the gravity of what money, extra money, can do for your situation. Because our first aspiration in this business is to see you become debt-free. So if you start creating extra income, what do you do with it? Do you go have a nice lunch, buy new shoes, handbag maybe? No, we want you to start paying your debt off faster. Here's an example of someone with a 1 million Rand bond on a house. Let's say they're in their 30s and they found a nice 1 million Rand house. The bank gave them a loan and said the loan term is 20 years, right? At the current interest rate, that person's going to be paying about 11,500 Rand every month to the bank for the next 20 years. They join DuePoint, and after some success, 6 months later, they're earning 2,500 Rand. They take the 2,500 Rand and they place it as an additional payment into their bond. What happens? They pay that bond off in nearly half the time. In nearly half the time, 11.6 years instead of 20 years. Instead of waiting until you're in your 50s to pay your bond off and become a homeowner for the first time, you now do it in your 40s. It gives you nearly 10 years extra to invest more money into your retirement fund. This little 2,500 Rand will save you in repayments. How much will it save you in repayments? 1 million Rand. Think about that. 2,500 Rand, little 2,500 Rand that we weren't that excited about, will save you 1 million Rand in the long term. Isn't that crazy? It's saving you the same value of the entire house. Do you understand what compound interest does to you if you're on the wrong side of it? We need to start thinking about debt differently, compound interest differently, and what's happening for us long term differently. After 12 months, you've created for yourself in excess of 100,000 Rand in annual recurring income. After 24 months, you're nearly 30,000 Rand a month. Does that start to sound better? 30,000 Rand a month. Think about that. What options does that open up for you as a family? After 36 months, you're nearly 50,000 Rand a month. Here's another bond example. Here's a 5 million Rand bond that's in existence. At that stage, you're probably earning about 36,000 Rand a month. If you put that as an additional payment into that bond, you'll pay that house off in less than 7 years. Anyone around the age of 40? Like me? You do this, 30 months later, if you're in this position, you'll pay that house off when you're in your 40s still. Become a homeowner of a 5 million rand house. So for me, when I'm 47, I'll buy another house for 5 million rand. So now when I'm 54, I've paid off my second house for 5 million rand. I'll go buy a third house. I'm still working. I'm still doing DuePoint. I'm not retired yet. Buy a third house. At 61, I'll pay off the third house for 5 million rand. Does that sound like a better retirement plan than saving for 40 years towards a retirement fund? When I'm retired, I now own 15 million rand in property assets. I can carry on living in the 5 million rand house. I could be renting the other two out for 60, 70,000 rand a month. Guys, we need to create options for ourselves. The economy is not going to change. Your job is not suddenly going to, your boss is not going to say to you, here's a 100% increase this month because you've worked so hard last year. We are begging for an 8% increase once a year just to keep our salary in line with inflation. Did everyone get an 8% increase for the last 5 years at work? Not one person. Your salaries have all devalued. Have you realized that? Your salary has devalued. That's why so many South Africans are under debt review, because the economy is squeezing you. The interest rates are going up. Food inflation is sitting at 11%. What options are there to get out of that? You don't have the option. That's why we're here today. 48 months, nearly 70,000 rand a month, and after 60 months, you've created for yourself about 1 million rand in annual recurring income. Does anyone even believe that? Do you believe that could be your reality in 60 months' time? 1 million rand annually, over and above your day job salary. At what stage do you tell your boss what you really think of him in this process? Right? We speak about options. No one has the option to tell their boss what they think about them. My sister was under a very similar circumstance. She came on holiday for 2 months. The place where she was working at, she got the leave. They didn't believe she was going to come back to work. So my sister was mortally offended that they thought that she would just not come back to work. She said, I'm going to tell that boss what I really think about him. I said, you don't have the option to tell your boss what you really think about him. You've got to play this safe because you can't afford not to have a job. It's the same situation we all find ourselves in. When 50% of the workforce is unemployed, when 9 million people are sitting at home wishing that they had work, we don't have the option in employment to just change jobs. Tell your boss what you think of him. We've got to endure everything that gets thrown at us in employment. So this is all academic, right? 3 plus 2. It's an example. You can do less than 3 plus 2. You can do more than 3 plus 2. We've got a big 0 plus 0 club here at DuePoint. Unfortunately. People that get excited in this presentation. And they join. But they don't do anything more than that. I want the audience here at lunchtime to join and become successful in this. Because I know in your heart you want change in your life. For yourself, for your family. So don't be part of the 0 plus 0 club. On the other side of it, you can do more than 3 plus 2. And we've got wealth engineers that do way more than 3 plus 2. So Denzel, he's sitting with us here. He joined at the end of August. And in about 6 months, he was able to create 2,500 rand in recurring income. So he tracked 3 plus 2 fairly closely. Can you see that? 6 months, 2,500 rand. Look what he did in a single month. This is supposed to be 2017. In 1 month, what happened to his income in 1 month? He gave himself a 100% raise in 1 month. What do you think is easier? Joining a business like DuePoint or going to your boss and asking for a 100% raise? What is more realistic? It's being done. Denzel took his income into his own hands. He didn't sit waiting for the economy to change. He didn't sit and wait for a promotion or wait for his boss to give him an 8% increase once a year. And he doubled it again. That's just laughing at employment, right? Nonkobela from East London, the Eastern Cape, she joined in 2016. She did nothing for an entire year. Guys, we've got people joining. They don't understand the gravity of this business sometimes. They don't, but that's fine. There's no time limit on this business. Retirement does start to get closer the longer you take, but there's no time limit. If it takes you a year to suddenly wake up, that's fine. It takes you a year. It took Nonkobela a year. She only started doing anything in this business in January. And by April, she was on nearly 4,000 Rand. She gave herself a 1,000 Rand raise in a single month, and then she doubled it to June. Go to our YouTube page. We've got hundreds of testimonies of people that have changed their lives in this business. So, little lady this high, owns her own business. You want to talk about persistence and consistency? That's this little lady. Softly spoken. You would think she would never thrive in a business like this, right? We assume you've got to be outgoing and extroverted to be successful in a business like this. She's the opposite of all those things. But she is tenacious. Tenacious. She'll put 40 people into her business in 1 month. We talk about 3 plus 2. She's doing 40. But she brought the wrong people into the business. She admittedly said that. Go see her testimony. She said she built the business incorrectly for the whole of 2016. She didn't realize it. She'd build the business up, it would collapse. She'd build the business up, it would collapse. At the end of the year, in January, she said to me she has to start all over again. She's been doing it wrong. Now she brings in resourceful, quality people into the business that she can count on to duplicate into her channel effectively. And she's just gone from strength to strength to strength. Did she give up when she realized she'd been doing the business wrong in December? That's the difference. That's the difference. She didn't give up. It's so easy to give up if you've got short-term expectation. Like I said, we've got hundreds of wealth engineers that earn here at DuePoint every single month, that we pay a return to at the end of every month, who have created an income over and above their employment. These are not special people. They are people that are just sacrificing time for this business that they're getting involved in. The accountability, again, lies with you. We've got this thing called the XP Rewards Program. This is over and above the returns that we pay our wealth engineers. If you become a wealth engineer, you will start to engage in normal wealth engineer behavior. So you will come to presentations. You will bring people to presentations. You might watch the live stream. You'll come to training. You'll log into your dashboard every day. And when you do these activities, we'll give you something called XP, which stands for experience points. It indicates to us how active you are as a wealth engineer, right? So it's just an activity-based point system. And when you start collecting more and more of these points, and you start to have success in this business by building your channel of distribution, we will give you rewards over and above the return that you get every single month. So this is what the rewards table looks like. If you become a wealth engineer this afternoon, you will start out as a rank 0 wealth engineer. You are still part of the 0+0 club. But within 24 hours, you can get to rank 1, because you only need 1,000 XP and 4 products in your qualified channel. And when you do that, bang, you rank 1, you're earning a return, but in the rewards program, we give you an extra 55 Rand to say, congratulations. For us, this is like an incentive program. It's actually a training program that we dress up as a rewards program for you guys. So from your perspective, it's a rewards program where you can get extra benefit out of being a wealth engineer. And the rewards get bigger and better the more success that you have here. So you can see the cash rewards go from 55 Rand all the way up to 50,000 Rand over there. We give tools to our wealth engineers to make them more effective at building these channels of distribution. Here's Patrick and Pumi with their Lightning USB drive. It's a beautiful little device that plugs into anything. Apple, Android, banana, tablets, smartphones, laptops, computers, TVs. It plugs into everything. So that Patrick and Pumi can show the business to anybody, doesn't matter where they are, what device they have on them, they can show them what DuePoint's all about, because all our video collateral is on that little USB stick. At rank 7, we get luxury business cards manufactured for our rank 7 wealth engineers. They cost us about just over 20,000 Rand if you get 1 set printed at a time. But we usually get 2 printed at a time, and then it costs us only about 12,500 Rand per set of business cards. People don't know who DuePoint is. If you go speak to someone in the street and say, I've got this beautiful business opportunity for you, it's called DuePoint. What credibility do you have there when no one's heard of DuePoint? But I promise you, if you put a business card, a 20,000 Rand business card in their hands and say, this is the business I'm involved in, their business card costs about 50 times more than the one they've got in their back pocket. Guess who's got more credibility all of a sudden? You. These are tools to make you more effective. At rank 9, this is one everyone gets excited about because it is a 7-day international conference, all expenses paid trip by DuePoint, business class flights for you and your family every single year going forward. This is not a once-off reward. This is a recurring reward. Think about that. You want to go overseas? Business class flights every single year with your family for as long as you rank 9 and above. That's what's on offer here. We had a gentleman that did it in 5 months. 5 months. Accountability, again, lies with you. And there's no time limit to it. This is where we're going in December.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand on at the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Available for everybody in the room. You have to start at rank 1 though. Can you get excited about 55 Rand? You sure? You get excited about 55 Rand, you get to rank 1. I promise you, if you can get to rank 1, you can get to rank 9. Because there's no difference in the behavior. You don't have to work extra hard to get to rank 9. You just have to be consistent. Because this business is about leverage. It's about power duplication. It's about recurring income. So you're building on an asset month to month. You're not starting at 0. Consistency is key. At rank 11, guess what happens at rank 11? That's the car that was given to a wealth engineer about 5 weeks ago in our parking lot. We are serious about getting our wealth engineers to become debt-free. When you don't have to worry about your overseas holiday once a year. You don't have to worry about the debit order on your car every single month. Are you going to be closer to becoming debt-free? This is just rank 11. The table went to rank 20. We've already planned to rank 28. What do you think rank 28 looks like? Guys, this is early days. This is early days, but we live in society that has such short-term expectation, they get frustrated in the first, second, third month, and they give up. We can't be like that. We have to look long-term. Investments and savings are about long-term. Debt is about short-term. We love short-term. Don't love short-term. Start thinking long-term. This is available to everybody. We've got successful wealth engineers. Some have got matrics, some don't. Some are involved in corporate work, some aren't. Some have got degrees, some don't. Unbiased for the first time in your life. More benefit for our wealth engineers is this thing called a wealth quest that we do every single month. So every month we issue a challenge out to our wealth engineers that say, if you can do this, there's a reward attached to it. And this month is called You're in the Army Now. If you can rank up in our XP Rewards program this month, we'll give you 60 gigs of data to use. 10 gigs for 6 months going forward. This is very much a data business. You'll see we don't have pamphlets or brochures or forms that are printed out. Nothing is printed out. Everything is electronic. Everything is online. You will need data. There it is, on offer. We have another incentive that we're running at the moment called the Winter Solstice XP Challenge. It says, for the next 10 days, you have 1,000 XP on offer for every person that you bring into this business. So in 10 days, you could have earned yourself 10,000 XP just in 10 days. So it lasts till the end of the month. You guys can still benefit out of this incentive that we're running. Okay. We get the question, how does this business operate? How do you function? How do you make profit when you're taking people on business class trips every single year, giving away cars? We don't give away anything. Our wealth engineers earn everything that we do in this business. No giveaways in this business. This explains our business model. Traditional insurance companies will engage in traditional forms of marketing and advertising. They spend a fortune on client acquisition. This is shown to us in some of the radio ads that we listen to, right? There's one insurer that says, you phone us for a quote. If we can't better your insurance quote, we'll pay you 400 Rand. If you claim free, we'll pay you 700 Rand. That's the offer. That gives you an idea of how much insurance companies pay for client acquisition. DuePoint does not do any advertising or marketing. You won't see our logo outside of this building. We depend on our wealth engineers to tell people about who DuePoint is and what we do. We don't spend billions on marketing and advertising. Instead, we take that portion of our premium and we give it to our wealth engineers in the form of those returns and rewards that we've just gone through. So I hope that explains it. We have got 3 products. You might have thought, well, this guy's been speaking for about 50 minutes now. He hasn't mentioned a thing about products because you're not selling products in this business. We are talking about business opportunity. But here are the 3 products. You are free to take out one product or all 3 products. They have very different benefits, so you can have all 3. We've got lots of wealth engineers that have got all 3 products. It is purely up to you. This is a personal decision you need to make. Product number 1 is an investment product. It is called Access Wealth. 299 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand is invested on your behalf in your name into a tax-free investment fund that sits with Sanlam. You have got full access to that fund. It's in your name. You can draw the funds out in 72 hours. It's not a notice or a fixed deposit account. On top of that, we give you a little bit of insurance. We give you 110,000 Rand personal accident cover with this product. Okay? So this is the investment product. Product number 2 is called Wealth Guard. It is 274 Rand a month, and this is purely an insurance product. It is only insurance. For 274 Rand a month, you get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. The beauty of our personal accident cover is that we don't discriminate you from a health risk point of view. So you can be 70 years old, you can be diabetic, and you can still take out this product. The premium remains unchanged, the benefit, the cover remains unchanged. This is personal accident cover. Don't confuse this with life cover. This is not life cover. This product does not pay you out in the event of you dying from illness or natural causes. This is personal accident cover. Okay? The third product is called the Wealth Points Buyers Club program. This product aims to save you money on the money that you're spending every month anyway. So for 274 Rand a month, you get to enjoy the discounts that we've negotiated with the list of partners that you see there. I mentioned food inflation sitting at 11%. We spend a fortune on groceries every month. There's ShopRite Checkers. They're one of our partners. You get 2.5% off your entire trolley at ShopRite Checkers every time you shop there. Right? Save you money on the money you spend every month anyway. So the list of partners is always growing. We're about to sign on Always On as a data partner, where we've negotiated data at nearly 33% of the full cost for our Wealth Points Buyers Clubs program members. Okay. If you want immediate benefit out of any of the products, this is a great product to have. So those are the 3 products. If you have any questions around them, come speak to me afterwards. I remind you of the support that you get here. It is in our mandate. It is to our benefit as a business to see our wealth engineers being effective. So everything we do in this business is for our wealth engineers. The live stream is there so that you can build your business outside of head office, outside of Johannesburg. The facilities are for you. You can use them. Use the boardrooms. Use the breakout rooms. We've got free Wi-Fi for everyone who comes in here. There's tea and coffee available. Brendan and myself will sit down with your team personally in a Teamworks meeting to strategize your success with your team, if you want that. You have to lean into the support. I'm not going to come to you and say, please will you spend time in DuePoint to make yourself some more money. You have to come and lean into that support. Here's the big decision slide. Bright orange, wake everyone up. We're at the end, guys. What is the decision? Is the decision, do I want to join? That's not the decision I'm looking for. The decision I'm looking for is, how is DuePoint going to fit into your life on a weekly basis? Do you have time for DuePoint? The one objection that probably gets my blood boiling is when someone says to me, I don't have time. Really? You're sitting in a presentation looking to make more money and you tell me you don't have time. What you're looking for is a get-rich-quick scheme. That's what you're looking for. There are lots of those you can go engage in. I can send you the link to a Russian on YouTube. He'll tell you where to put your money. Guys, it does not exist. It does not exist. You have to sacrifice the time. There is no way around it. If you want to change your life, it's the only way to get there. And we'll help you. You've been successful in this business. You're partnering with a very reputable, successful company. We are listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a very authentic business model that allows you to partner with a successful company to change your own life. And it's risk-free. If you don't like us, you can cancel at any stage. Any stage you can cancel and walk out. Say, I didn't have time for that business. Come speak to me. If you have any objections around the business, if you have any question marks around the business, come speak to me. I'll deal with them after the presentation. We make joining very easy. Jump onto our homepage, www.duepoint.net. Click on the big blue apply button. You'll be a wealth engineer in 7 minutes. You go through that application form. 7 minutes, you're a wealth engineer. You can start phoning those people this afternoon. You can start creating extra income for yourself today still. Accountability lies with you. We've got merchandise. Please consider getting business cards. This business is very much about first impressions and credibility. You have to dress professionally, be professional, speak professionally, behave professionally. Please have business cards. You can't propose to someone you found the greatest business opportunity and they say, great, do you have a business card? No. The pricing for all the merchandise is on the counter. It's all on display in the merchandise cabinet. Please consider the merchandise. I remind you, we have a YouTube channel. It has got all our videos on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to that channel. It'll tell you every time we load up a new video. All our testimonies, our training, all our intros, our interviews are all on there. We've got a mobile app. If you become a wealth engineer, download the mobile app. It tells you in real time what is happening in your business. In real time. If you're going to get addicted to anything, it's going to be the live feed on this app. Okay? So download the app. Guys, I thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, like I said, come speak to me afterwards. I hope you have a fantastic week.